Voice your vote. With last night's elections, the spotlight is now on California and specifically here on San Diego. President Donald Trump is throwing his support behind a San Diego candidate for governor. And with that, could we see more of the president here in San Diego? Our 10 News anchor Brian Schlonsky spoke to a political expert about that possibility. He joins us now from the U.S. Grant Hotel downtown. That was Republican headquarters last night, Brian.
Well, Steve, last night this hotel was swarming with media members from across the country. They descended on San Diego after a tweet from the president and word that the man he was backing would be here inside.
I have some pictures I can show you.
Less than 2 months ago, it was the border wall prototypes that brought the president to San Diego. Now, the question, could he be back?
Yeah, San Diegans might be seeing more of President Trump this year in 2018.
Political expert Ruben Barales says the reason, last night's election. San Diegan John Cox, a little-known Republican to many, advancing to take on Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom in the governor's race. The president throwing his support behind Cox via a tweet, then following that up last night with this tweet, writing, quote, "Congratulations to John Cox on a really big number in California." Barales says whether the president comes to San Diego to campaign for Cox depends on a few factors.
It's all dependent on whether or not the political teams of both John Cox, the governor nominee, and President Trump, if their political teams think it makes sense for the president to come to San Diego because it will draw out more voters to support Cox, then I think they'll do it.
Tonight, we asked Cox about that possibility.
I welcome the president. He's the leader of our country. He's the president. Whether you like his personality or not, he's the president of the country. He ought to be respected.
But his opponent, Newsom, says that could be a gamble.
I think having Donald Trump's support was significant for John Cox, and he's not running away from it. And I'm not sure that's going to help broaden his appeal.
Newsom sharing the president's tweet today, writing, quote, "Please come campaign for him as much as possible." And back to those prototypes in Otay Mesa. The president yet to pick one. So there's always the chance he could be back for that. And not to be lost in the reasons to come back and visit, of course, is the race for the House seat in the 49th District. Republicans fighting to keep that seat. Reporting live downtown, Brian Schlonsky, 10 News.
Yeah, key campaigns are already on. Thank you, Brian.